My name is Owen Sullivan. We are from Ohio Northern University. This is our robot RoboGro. I hand this over to Camden. My position in this project was project manager and technical report writer.
I am hello, I'm Camden Spears, and I was the software developer and programmer for this project, and I programmed the touchscreen, the motors, and all the electronic equipment in here. And I'll hand it over to John.
So my name's Jonathan Exline, and I was the hardware manager for this project. So my main job was to work on building, be in charge of building the entire project.
My name is Zach Himes. I was the CAD designer, bringing this from iteration 1 to where it is now, based on our team's comments and concerns.
So RoboGro is designed to be a robotic, fully autonomous greenhouse. So in recent years, we saw food shortages that became a huge problem. At least the last 2 years, a lot of people began gardening on their own. And with that, they've now gone back to work. How do they maintain this issue? How do they solve this problem? This is that answer. This is designed to, you hit a button, it plants the seed based on its spacing, so the optimal growth, and it is then programmed to monitor harvest for the next 55 days. It's currently programmed to 55 days based on the soybeans that we based it around. In future tests and future designs, we'd like to develop a database. So if you want to grow corn, if you want to grow wheat, tomatoes, it is designed so that an end user walks up, hits a button, it's ready to go. And this is in prototype stage. We definitely put a lot of effort into making it look really good and in sellable form. But from here, we built it in 10 weeks with just 4 of us. And we started out with an initial budget of $500 from our university. And from there, we sought out a large amount of sponsors. Thanks to them, as this wouldn't have been possible without them. End cost for us was around $2,000. If you were going to build this today, on today's costs and prices with buying everything from the store, it's going to cost you roughly $3,600. And for what it is, it's worth the price. Camden, do you want to go ahead and hit the seed? What John is doing here is he's actually dumping the seed amount into the hoppers. And what Camden is doing is he is using our own design UI that built on this touchscreen. When he hits the seed button, it's going to send the rope to get the seeds. It apparently froze. This has been unplugged multiple times while sitting here, so we did run into that as an issue. What it did just demonstrate is that the seeds dropped. The robot is actually supposed to go through a G-code phase using a Gerbil program, which the Raspberry Pi goes, we have a Raspberry Pi talking to 2 Arduinos. It goes through, it moves to the hoppers, it will then come down, make a pass through the dirt, planting the seeds in the 8 rows, and then comes back for a second pass, planting at a certain depth. So I think we're going to try to reset it here so you can see the full system. Murphy's Law, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. So. So he's rebooting the system. So that's going to take a second. Sorry about this, folks. We designed every piece of this from the ground up. Every piece is made at 100% infill of ABS plastic. We sought that out as for the water resistance. All upper connections are also designed in a waterproof fashion. And then Zach is going to come up front here. We'll show you the inside. Our sifter falls out. On the inside, we actually have a water tank that is connected to an ultrasonic sensor. So as the user runs this, it actually monitors the water level within it and then alerts the user to the water level. That's also connected to the UI. That's then connected to the water pump, which comes up through this misting system in the top. And also you can see the lights on now. That is the UV grow light that we were able to find at Menards for a pretty good price. Further down in here, I don't know if everybody can see it, but we're running 3-stepper motor controllers. We felt that on a ball screw system, it was more reliable than belts to avoid slipping. And it's also running a high voltage Arduino relay control. So it does actually have 2 expansion slots. So if you wanted to grow a plant that required heat lamps, it does have that spot. You did just get the G-code sender open, so hopefully we'll get this going in our time. It is designed so in the case of this failure, it's still going to have these orange plows in the front. It will make a pass, opening up the soil, and the rear gang of plows is actually offset to recover those troughs. And so in this case, it will still actually plant the majority of those seeds. So what it's doing here is it's going to go forward underneath these seed hoppers in the top, and those just open, and that's going to fill those 2 hoppers to distribute the seed equally along the planter bed, which the planter is actually a cam system that slides open and close, opening doors basically to drop the seeds through. So it's going down, it's going to find its initial position, and then it'll make it a pass. Another feature of this is it actually has a soil moisture sensor built into it. So say you've got your heat on in your house and it's extremely warm, well that's going to dry the dirt out in its own speed. And with that, the sensor will determine, okay, the soil is now dry. It will then apply the sprayer system and wet down the soil. It does plant the seeds about 1 inch deep. This is the second pass it's making to assure optimal insertion. So it's going to make a second pass, just putting the seeds in deeper.
So we kind of designed this based on planting soybeans, and I don't know if a lot of you know what soybeans actually produce their own nitrogen. So in another module where you might have a fertilization or an insecticide to help that grow, these actually produce their own nitrogen, so they will grow on their own.
This is also designed that you could put it on a commercial scale using this program. You could also link these 4 units together. We did some, the math according to this is that 4 of these units can produce a bushel of soybeans. So it's just finished the second pass and then it will return to the home position. This is the sprayers kicking on. The lights turn off and simulating somewhat of a rainstorm. You would have the sun out if it's raining. It's then going to come back to its initial home. And it is in a demo code program right now. So it's kind of hard to show 55 days of growth in 10 minutes. So with that, it's returning to its home position and then it'll be done.
Thank you very much, Ohio Northern University.